Yo, what's up everyone, my name is Abductual TKL Tom and welcome back to a brand new video. And today is a bit of a random video. It's a bit out of the ordinary, a bit kind of not in my class of videos, but I don't know, I've been kind of lacking ideas and I just kind of wanted to keep the schedule of uploading kind of just a brisk pace. I didn't want to kind of slow it down. Obviously it's been a few days and stuff, but yeah, I just wanted to keep up the flow of videos really, and I thought, this is an idea that I had in my head, so let's talk about it. Now, as you can tell from the title, we're pretty much going to be talking about animated TV shows and why I think they're important, and pretty much just going to list why they are important and pretty much their values to me and probably to other people. Now, my first point might get a bit deep, and some of you could maybe think this is absolutely ridiculous and not understand where I'm coming from, but others could understand this point, and I think it's a fair point to make. And that's basically that cartoon and animated universes are heavily watched for the reason that I think it can be kind of like an escape in a way. Like, this is where it sounds kind of deep when it maybe shouldn't be, but sometimes you want to kind of escape the reality of things. So maybe TV shows and things where it is live action just doesn't quite cut it. It's maybe a bit too realistic, and you don't really want to be kind of involving yourself with that right now. And there's just something about putting on like an animated TV show or series and just kind of relaxing with it. I don't think it requires too many brain cells to immerse yourself in these worlds, I guess. Of course, you can pay as much attention to as much as you want, to whatever you want, okay? But there's something about cartoons and animated TV shows that you can just kind of watch and not really have to think too hard about what you're watching. You're just kind of enjoying the visuals and the jokes and things like that. Whereas watching something kind of serious, like a serious TV show or just kind of anything live action, if you're not really engaged, then you're not really going to understand anything. But with these animations and things, they're meant to be pleasing to the eye. They're not exactly story driven for the most part. Rick and Morty can be a bit of an exception because there is kind of like a lore behind it. Like, the episodes do actually add up. I'm not saying that other animated TV shows don't have a loose story as well. They do, but they just tend not to follow it too well. Obviously, if you watch season 1 to 3 of like Family Guy, you might have a better perspective on some of the other seasons because they might kind of reference maybe characters that were in those seasons or bring back characters that were in those seasons, things like that. And I'm pretty sure that's the case for Rick and Morty, but for me, I just think, if I just put on any episode of Rick and Morty, any season, it wouldn't bother me. I'd just enjoy it as much as starting from episode 1 to the last season's episode. It's just visually pleasing and it's just really fun to watch. So that was kind of my first point, and my second point is pretty much going to be the humour, the jokes that come out of animated TV shows. Now, granted, not all of them are that great. Not every TV show has amazing humour. Of course not. Everyone has different humour and things as well. So, some person might find Family Guy absolutely hilarious, whereas the next person might think it's awful, it's boring. How could you even watch it? Now, using Family Guy as an example, I had pretty much never watched Family Guy. Well, I'd watched maybe a few episodes, but not even fully through. And maybe a month or so ago, maybe a couple of months, I started getting recommended for Family Guy, like just clips on YouTube. And for some reason, I ended up going down a real rabbit hole of Family Guy videos, mainly of Stewie and Brian. Now, obviously, I'm not into Family Guy at all. I obviously knew what it was, I just wasn't really into it, never really watched it on TV. But then I started getting all these recommended clips, and I started absolutely loving it. I just loved watching these clips. I think that was due to the fact that I could just kind of like there would be a title or something, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool to watch, like little 5 minute video or something. And then it got me really into Family Guy. So I went out and I knew the DVDs would be cheap because it's such an old TV show. Obviously, there's newer seasons, older seasons. But I went into shops and there'd be £1 for a full season of the stuff. And for some reason you're like not English that's watching this, a pound is like, I don't know, $2. I don't know. I'm not doing conversion rates here, but really cheap. So I got like wait, they're right next to me right now. I got 4 seasons of Family Guy, all for £1 each, and I think I got season 5 to 7 or whatever, or 5 to 8. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, and I've just been kind of casually watching it at night and just really enjoying it. Like, these are DVDs that came out in 2008, and I find some of it like fairly funny. I have to say, if Stewie wasn't in Family Guy, I wouldn't watch it. It's a pretty broad statement, but I just love Stewie, and I think he's just got one of the best characters in any cartoon or animated show. I just think he's brilliant, to be honest. But that's kind of straying from my original point I was actually going to make, so that's kind of my fault. But what I'm saying is the humour, it just delivers in a different way when it comes to animated things. Like, with real life acting and things, sometimes to deliver a joke, you might need the right facial expressions or body language. Because, you can tell a joke, but if you're not really enthusiastic and, not really using your body and stuff, this sounds a bit weird and a bit technical. But I feel like if you were actually watching it, you'd pick up on these things and the humour wouldn't be delivered as well. But when it comes to animation, they can do anything with these characters. They can make them move and make whatever they want with them. And it's just a lot more clever. I think a lot more thinking goes into a lot of animation, like jokes and things, because I don't know, it's just more funny when it comes out of a character and stuff, and you can just do any wacky thing like Rick and Morty. Just watch that. There's just so much craziness in that you can't find in a live action thing because it doesn't exist. Most things in Rick and Morty don't exist, obviously. It's about multi-dimensional worlds and things. And there's no way you could create that into a live action thing because it'd just be awful. And that's why animation is important. You just get a different type of humour. And I know I'm not good at explaining this type of stuff, but honestly, just if you watched a lot of animation and cartoons and things like that, you'd understand where I'm coming from. Some of the humour is just different. It just comes across far better. And it's like, feels like it's not as forced as well. It's such a casual thing in Family Guy and Rick and Morty and all that stuff. It's just really good. South Park, I mean, like, just amazing. South Park's humour, like, I remember when I was little, I used to think that was the best thing ever. Probably because of how, like, crude and explicit it was. But, like, you just couldn't do that in live action. It wouldn't work. Think of any TV show right now that has really good humour and has all the best jokes. I feel like animated TV shows just kind of come on top in the comedy type thing. I'm really bad at explaining this, but I hope I kind of got through to you on that one. I just think animated TV shows have a different level of humour that I personally just really enjoy. So there's a few of the points. One other point I could make is that just animated TV shows, they're just endless in imagination. You get the right writers and the right voice actors. You could keep Rick and Morty going on for, I don't know, like 10 to 12 seasons. Like, that's how good I think it is and how much they could evolve it. It's just amazing to me. I don't know. I've watched Rick and Morty over like 3 or 4 times probably. I don't even know if I have, but it feels like I've watched it a lot. And it's just great. Animation just brings a different level of humor. I think it's just the most chill thing to watch as well. It doesn't require too much attention like other TV shows where you need to immerse yourself. It's just really relaxed, and that's why I think animated TV shows will always be a thing and always be popular. Family Guy, it's still popular to this day. South Park's still really popular. Just and Rick and Morty is like the newest one, and it's got millions of fans, of course. Just the animation type thing will just never end, I don't think. Ask anyone, it's just a different level of humour and just something you wouldn't find in other TV shows. I hope I've done okay at explaining my points. I know I'm not the best, and I'm sure there's way better videos that are similar to this. But if you have happened to find this video or it's coming your recommended or something weird like that, then drop a comment, maybe just let me know what you thought of the video. I'm always open to constructive criticism, and I'll see you in the next video. If you want more like these, then give it a like. Maybe I can do more TV show or movie related things rather than games. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.